Carmelo, now that you got your first game under your belt here, how would you describe the last 24 hours for you?
Hectic, a roller coaster. I'm just glad I got this game out of my system. You know, these last 2 days has been crazy for me, working on no sleep. You know, just the excitement of this whole thing going down, and you know, to be able to come out and get this W tonight, you know, that really meant a lot to me.
Carmelo, was everything out there tonight kind of heightened, or was it at some point, was it just kind of like a normal game for you?
Well, you know, at the beginning, of course, you know, that was a hell of a moment. You know, for the fans to react the way that they did, and you know, to give me that ovation that they did, you know, that was exciting. And then you know, early on in the game, it was just trying to figure it out. You know, trying to run D'Antoni's system, and you know, fit in with with Amari and with Fields and with all them other guys. But towards the end of the game, it came down to basketball at that point.
Carmelo, you talked about Mike's system. You're somewhat familiar with it on the Olympic team out there. How long do you think it's going to take you to get used to what he likes to run? And you've defended it many times. How long do you think it'll take for you to adjust to the system?
Well, I think it'll take some time. But you know, the way we play, we're used to a system like this. You know, getting up and down, spacing the court. You know, letting Chauncey, run the pick and rolls with Amari and me on the weak side. But you know, it's going to take some time. But like I said, we're used to a system like that. The most important thing for us is just getting everybody on the same page defensively. You know, we come from a system with different schemes. They have different schemes, and you know, you can't get that done in one game. You know, so toward the end of the game, in the timeouts, we just wanted to stick to a basic scheme tonight until we get some time together.
Carmelo, what was it like for the first time experiencing the Garden crowd as a Knick?
It was great. It was great. You know, the reaction was great. I felt great, man, and you know, I never experienced anything like that before. You know, just running out, the fans going crazy. You know, just that whole moment at the beginning of the game, and you know, to come in today, go straight from the press conference to the locker room. I got to get ready for a basketball game like this. It was a lot, but you know, at the end of the day, the only thing that mattered was a win.
I know you came here to be with Amari, part of it, but when he goes out at the end of the game, part of you revert back to, okay, now I am the guy again?
Well, I mean, I had to. You know, he fouled out tonight. You know, as y'all seen throughout the game, we were just trying to figure it out, you know, on the go. You know, I'm trying to figure out where he liked the ball at, where his spot's at. And he's trying to do the same thing with me and Chauncey and guys like that. So, you know, that's the easy part. You know, I think me and him will have a great time, you know, together here, you know, alongside each other. And, you know, it's going to be exciting.
You've obviously known him for a while and been friendly with him for a while. I mean, not to be too personal about your conversation with him, but when you got here and when you talked to him, I mean, did you have specific conversation about wanting to make sure you fit in, about him having already been here and this having been his team before you got here, those sort of conversations?
Well, I mean, our conversations, my conversations to him was more of, let's get it going now. You know, let's try to go now. We don't have time to wait. It's almost March. You know, it's coming down to the end of the season. So, you know, I know we're trying to work it out, but you play your game, I play my game, and you know, we'll figure it out on the go. So, like I said, that's the easy part is basketball. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you know, if he have a matchup that we get to work, then we going to him. If Chauncey have a matchup that he can work, then we going to him. It's not no one person that is saying, yo, we got to go to him every time. So.
Two questions for you, Carmelo. First one's pretty easy. Why number 7, D'Antoni? And the other one is, before the game, you talked about defense, brought it up like, you know, kind of unsolicited about how important it's going to be. And then in the game, it looked like you were trying to set that tone yourself, getting your hand in, deflecting passes early in the game. And, you know, obviously the other guys have talked about that too, but how important will defense be for this team? But like I said, first, why number 7?
First of all, 15 is retired. 22 is retired. I wish I could take it back down. I'm talking to Earl now, man. I don't know who I got to go through to get it. I wear it in his honor. You know, I want to honor him and wear that number. But 7 it's my son's birthday. First of all, March 7th. That's my son's birthday. 22 was my high school number. 15 was my NBA number. 22 minus 15 is 7. So it's a.
Did you think at all about 30, Bernard's number?
I thought about it. That number's too big for me, man. It's, it was cool for Bernard back then. Right now, 7. 7 is a great number. I don't see why not.
And then the defense.
As far as the defense goes, that's something that I mentioned at shoot around today. It's something I mentioned in the locker room. Something that I was harping on in timeouts. That in order for us to be, a defensive team and a good defensive team, it got to start with, one of the leaders of the team. So this is my first game. Why not come out and give a good impression of what I want to do and what we need to do as a team.
Now that you're here, would you have signed that contract extension with anybody else but the Knicks?
I don't know, man. I really can't answer that question. I'm here now. I signed the extension, and I really don't want to talk about no other teams.
Carmelo, just looking down the road in the front row, whether it's a week from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, when you look back and remember this night, what's going to be the number one thing that it sears in your brain?
Well, just running out that tunnel. It was different. It felt different. You run out the tunnel. I usually go to the left. I went to the right earlier and shoot around. Well, before shoot around, I came in this morning and shot around myself and almost went to the visitors' locker room. I forgot that. But, just running out that tunnel, man, and them doing the welcome home video and then the crowd just going nuts out there. So I will always remember this.
All right, guys. Thank you, Carmelo. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So 22 minus 15 is 7. Single digits are hot. There you go. Good story. Question, by the way, was asked by Alan Hahn. So, Carmelo, his time begins here. Kelly, what was your highlight of the day?
The warm-ups, I think, coming out from mid